Grayzone Warfare recently announced the game will have 4 editions. The base edition is set at $35, and the supporter edition is set at $99.99, with 2 editions in between. Having been lucky enough to play the closed alpha, I can tell you right now that if you do decide to purchase this game, you will definitely be getting your money's worth regardless of which edition that you purchase. The map is absolutely beautiful and a decent size too, sitting at 42 square kilometers. It took one player roughly an hour and 30 minutes to cross on foot from the furthest point north to the furthest point south. The task areas are nice and varied. One minute you could be fighting in a bunker, the next you're in a fishing village or on a shooting range. There are lots of places to explore, and you gain XP when finding new areas, buildings, or POI, which makes taking the time to look around absolutely worth it. The starter town feels relatively safe, but as soon as you venture out into the next areas around level 6 or 7, it instantly becomes intense, regular PvP. Next up is the inventory system. The inventory is very clean and easy to use. You can use hotkeys to quick transfer items, similar to an Escape from Tarkov. The stash is pretty small and cluttered without cases to store your items, but I'm assuming those could come later on, as well as larger stashes. Moving on, we have the vendors. The vendors sell everything you need off the rip. You unlock more vendors and also level them up as you complete tasks. This unlocks better items for purchase. Moving on to one of the biggest features of the game, the tasks. Tasking is fun and a challenge. Finding the correct building for the task means you really do have to explore the area in which they take place. The tasks which you take further out into the map come around level 6 or 7, which feels like about the right time. Another little side note is that you can find keys on any AI that you kill which open up locked rooms. Those rooms can contain some seriously good gear early game. One of the big things everybody was talking about, PvP. Now this was a big question myself and others had before heading into the alpha. How much PvP would there be? And the answer is as much as you want, because as soon as you leave the start zone you are straight into the PvP and it is constant. Next up I have a list of things that I would like to see added to the game. Towards the end of the alpha I mentioned in my stream that there was virtually no point in me looting the players that I killed, because I could buy better gear than what they had on them. I would like to see something like dog tags introduced, so that we at least have something worth looting from the other players. Enemy audio was also an issue for me. Almost every player and AI that I encountered had zero movement or footstep audio, meaning that they could creep up behind you and get shots off before you even knew that they were there. I would also like to see a slightly higher TTK. Gunfights seemed to be over very quickly when I was in PvP. Now, two of the main things that I would like to see added to the game are stats and skills. I'd like general stat tracking, but also each time that I extract back to my base, I'd like some kind of after-action report. Skills is a big one for me. I love a sense of progression. This is one of my favorite things in Escape from Tarkov. It means that no matter what you're doing, you're gaining something from it. This would also give more players a reason to move around on foot, as opposed to taking a helicopter everywhere, which would increase the chances of PvP and different interactions with the players. One issue I encountered with PvP is that weapons would drop on the ground and sometimes disappear. I would like to see weapons stay in the inventory of the enemy when we try to loot them. One suggestion I made while I was on stream is roaming bosses. Having roaming bosses on the map. An example being something like Shere Khan from Jungle Book. Like a giant tiger that just randomly roams around different areas of the map, and it's big enough and strong enough to take down players, but also drop something like a rare key or a collectible item. I would love to see little things like that in game. Again, making it worth exploring the jungle. Now, something I haven't really spoken about because it's a given during the alpha is performance. Performance was a big thing. I was hitting 50 to 60 FPS using DLSS, and I was hitting around 100 to 110 with FSR. This was the same when streaming and not streaming. Now I run an i9-9900K, 32 gigs of RAM, and a 3060 Ti graphics card. I definitely feel like I should be getting more than 50 FPS. Hopefully this is something they work on, and I'm absolutely confident that they will. But overall, I love the game. I think it's solid. I think it has a bright future. I actually think it's the best alpha that I've ever played. And this is a game that we can all get excited for. There's been a lot of games that have come out and they've been hyped up and they haven't lived up to it, or they've been scam games. I definitely feel like Grayzone Warfare is worth the hype. The dev team are extremely good at communicating with transparency, and I absolutely cannot wait to get back in and play again. That's all from me today. Thank you for watching. Please like the video and subscribe. I'm going to leave you with a little bit of gameplay in the background just to watch and have a look at the game. And I'll see you again very soon.